Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm bringing you part 2 of my ground war sniping tips. This one's going to be going over positioning, it's going to be going over the spotter scope, as well as quite a few of other things and what can help you guys improve your sniping in Modern Warfare 2 ground war. So let's go ahead and talk about how I dropped this gameplay here, which I believe is 97 kills and 4 deaths using the MCPR. I have not used this sniper in a long time, and one of the first things I noticed about it compared to the SPX-80, which is something I've been using quite a bit lately, this one has a ton of zoom on it. And I am not a fan of really far zoom snipers because personally I like nice little fine-tuned aim. I'm used to my sensitivity with the 1 to 2, maybe even 3 times scopes, and once you add this big zoom on a controller, it just starts to feel a little bit clunky in my opinion, and also the idle sway is magnified. So for me, I'm not really used to the sensitivity. The idle sway is much heavier, which means you're forced to hold your breath in a lot of situations, which means there's more downtime, and it's going to make it easier for you to get sniped, and it's also going to be harder to challenge people across the map if you want to pick off another sniper real fast. So with that being said, though, I still love the MCPR. It is one of the most consistent snipers in the entire game. If you were looking for the absolute best sniper for one-shot, one-kill potential, this is it right here, the MCPR. And this build I have is basically hit scan across the map. Look how little I had to lead for 130 meters. You'll even see some 200 plus meter shots in this gameplay, so be sure to be watching out for that. And you guys will see that it just absolutely goes crazy as a sniper, and it's one of the best in the game, okay? It's one of the best in the game. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into positioning, and I'm going to use Giharo as the example instead of Tarak here because the gameplay will speak for itself about Tarak, but I'm going to use Giharo because I feel like Giharo is a map where a lot of people like to snipe, but they just really don't know where to go. I see them always lurking in their HQ or just some random spot of the map that just isn't useful. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Alright everybody, we're going to take a look at Giharo here. This is a ground war map. It also means pebble in, that's like the translation if you didn't know. Anyways, moving on, we are going to talk about sniping and where you should be at on the map, because there are way too many people who just sit in their headquarters on A or E side and they don't move in. The only time you should be in your headquarters is when the game first starts, or if you're getting defconned. Okay, if you're trying to break out of a defcon, then it's understandable to be spawning in your headquarters trying to regain map control. However, if that is not the case whatsoever, you should be trying to play the play area of the map, okay? All this extra space. So, sitting back here, sure, the enemies can't flank you, but you're not going to get a lot of kills, you're not going to get a lot of streaks, you're not going to be doing anything for your team other than playing selfishly for yourself, and as a result, you're never going to improve, you're never going to get more kills, and you're just going to be sitting there wondering, how come these guys get a lot of kills? Well, I'm going to tell you guys today on how you can get more kills and get more streaks, win more games, and help your team out as a sniper, because I feel that sniping is something a lot of people do in ground war. However, they just don't really know where to be, and it really shows, because I always see most of the snipers are the ones doing the least on their team, when as a sniper you can actually be doing the most on your team. So let's talk about it. First things first, as we said, never, ever be in your HQ outside of the beginning or if you're getting defconned. Part 2 is knowing spots that can overwatch enemy flags or defend your own flag. So, for example, A is right here, B is right there, C is right there, D is right there, and E is right there. That is the flag rotation on this map. It's a nice little Z, if you will. And in order to maximize your effectiveness as a sniper, you want to find positions on the map that are going to be able to guard the most amount of flags. Also, toggle score streaks when you're doing this, because as you're picking people off the flags, you actually get 50 extra score per kill, which can lead to more kill streaks. Now, what kind of streaks should you be running first off as a sniper? You should be running things that are going to heavily assist your team. Destroying vehicles, recon, as well as something that can just get a lot of kills and guard a position. Gunship, chopper gunner, VTOL jet, advanced UAV, they're all really good streaks. Cruise missile as well. Don't forget about cruise missile. That's another really good streak as a sniper. Heck, even the stealth bomber on some of the maps are really going to be useful. So I would recommend, if you are a sniper who maybe you don't get a lot of kills, you're not really comfortable, you don't really know these positions yet, I'd recommend a low streak, middle streak, and a high streak. So try to work towards your high streak as you are playing around and trying to find more action. And I would recommend something like a UAV, a cruise missile, and then a chopper gunner, right? The UAV, it can spot people on the minimap for you, can help you look around on the map and try to pinpoint where the dots are. You can also pull up your TAC map, which is the giant overview. And you can see where they're pinging on the UAV as long as they aren't running Ghost. Another thing is the cruise missile. It can help destroy the transport helicopter, APCs, heavy tanks, light tanks. It destroys anything. Okay, so cruise missile is very good for that reason, and that can also help make a break for map control, or it can make it so, you know, those tanks aren't going to be able to capture objectives and help their team rotate around the map. And then the chopper gunner is just great for taking infantry out of positions. If there's a lot of people on rooftops and you want to clear off the rooftops, bring that chopper gunner over there, take people down. You can also get really proficient with the Hydra rockets, and you can put them through windows, you can put them through a lot of different things, bob and weave through different areas of the map, and you'll be able to maximize your kills. I usually get about 10 to 12 kills per chopper gunner for this reason alone, and you want to try to maximize your effectiveness by using the Hydra rockets correctly, as well as being able to take out infantry. So that's your kill streaks that you should be running. Advanced UAV, it's good if if your team is going to be playing the objective and they're going to be doing things, but as a sniper, the advanced UAV isn't really going to help you out much, because you're going to be in a spot where you're not going to get a lot of traffic, but more so you're going to be looking at further back traffic, if you know what I'm saying. So if you want to run the advanced, you can. I wouldn't recommend it though for sniping all the time, unless you're maybe aggressive sniping. Now, let's talk about these positions on the map that are really good. So the market here at B, this is an indoor market. This is really good because you can watch over A, you can watch over B, you can watch over C. Heck, you can even peek over all the way over to E. So you got 4 different flags here you can watch. Now, this is high risk, high reward, because you're going to be at a risk, because once people start catching on to you that you're up here, they're going to start looking for you. So maybe it might be a good idea every once in a while to go ahead and drop down to the bottom level and try to get some picks maybe on the ground level at people who are A, rotating from B, or maybe even C, and then go back up to the top. You want to keep moving around, because if you're a static target and you're sniping, people are going to catch on to that. They're going to see where you're at, and they're going to just go ahead and maybe pull out a sniper and try to take you out, or they're going to try to flank you. So you do have to be careful when you're doing that. The theater over here at C and D, this can look over to here. It can also look at these buildings here if anyone's chilling on the rooftop there. And you can even peek into the enemy spawn out this way, as well as the E flag. So any sort of rotators that are coming out from here, you have eyes on that. So these are some really good spots. Now, if you haven't noticed, the areas I am recommending are on the outskirts of the map. And the reason I am recommending areas that are on the outskirts of the map is because you can't be flanked as easy, you can't be shot in the back as much, you have a nice focused fight in front of you around the objectives, and you'll be racking up your score, you'll be getting more streaks, you'll be assisting your team that way. And since there is a lot of snipers in ground war, you're usually not going to be capturing objectives, so being able to pick people off of these objectives and assisting people who are on the objectives are going to help you earn those streaks, help your team, and then you're going to be able to gain even more map control once you go ahead and get your kill streak. So this is how you want to play as a sniper. You always want to be trying to find creative angles on the outskirts of the map. Heck, sometimes you might go through the middle of the map and to rotate to somewhere that is on the outside, but having positions on the map where you're able to take on other snipers, which is a huge priority, as well as defend or try to help your teammates attack objectives, is going to be your #1 priority. So that is where you should position as a sniper. Alright, now I want to update you guys on something I had last time. This was damage range, bullet velocity, and aiming idle stability. I still stand by these principles about kitting out your gun whenever it comes to trying to build the best class out of for a sniper. I personally do not really care too much about aim down sight speed in ground war, because up close I am just simply going to pull out my secondary, which happens to be the snake shot revolver, the basilisk. And the reason I use this one is just because it's basically a pocket shotgun, and with the fast draw attachment, all you have to do is make sure you're not sprinting, just make sure that you are normal walking, and if you press your weapon swap button, it will pull out much faster, which as a result means there's going to be less downtime to pulling it out. Now, the only downside to the basilisk is it is very easy to get overran. So you might want to opt for something maybe with a little bit less stopping power, something like the P890 or the X12, just for a higher capacity weapon. However, if you are playing your angles right and you are playing your cards right, as well as with a little luck that there aren't going to be too many enemies pushing you, the basilisk is going to be the absolute best option because of its sheer stopping power. You can one-shot, one-kill your enemies, and I highly, highly recommend that you aim down sights whenever you use a basilisk with the snake shot ammo type. And that goes for any shotgun in this game, because it's going to give you the tightest spread, and therefore you will have the best potential of getting a one-shot, one-kill, because in Modern Warfare 2 you have to hit the majority of your pellets in order to get a one-shot, one-kill. Now, for the sniper, I have almost, I think, like 1,200 to 1,600 meters per second bullet velocity, which it actually threw me off a little bit in this gameplay. You guys will see that I'm kind of aiming higher than I need to for some of the targets I'm trying to snipe, and this was actually the first match I think I've used the MCPR in months, because I have not been sniping at all lately. After I got Orion camo done, I was basically just like, yep, I just am going to be using the guns that I want to use, and I just haven't really been playing a lot of ground war until Season 2. And I got Orion back in Season 0, by the way, so it was even before Season 1 launched. So that's why I have the gold camo on. I'm going up for my challenges now, trying to finish off all of the remainder of the calling card challenges, and, well, it happens that I am working on the MCPR at the time of this video. So the MCPR I highly recommend because, again, it is going to have the best one-shot, one-kill potential, and I would recommend whenever you are kitting out your MCPR, don't be afraid to slow it down a little bit. A lot of people always think that ADS is very important, and I think ADS speed on a sniper is really only important if you are going to aggressively snipe, and aggressive sniping is most useful on 6v6 or 10v10, where the maps are smaller, it's a lot more chaotic, and there's a lot less decision making in trying to snipe. It's a lot more just about reaction time and trying to hit those one-shot, one-kills as fast as you possibly can, whereas in ground war there is a lot more decision making in trying to stay alive as well as trying to snipe. The spotter scope is a great tool for sniping, and I'm going to recommend that as a sniper, you are always using cold-blooded. The reason for this is a lot of people do use the spotter scope to get a live ping on you, and I'm pretty sure it shows for the entire team when you are live pinged. On top of that, it's going to make it easier for that player to snipe you because you have a nice big diamond above your head once you are live spotted by the spotter scope. So I use the spotter scope, but I also use the counter to the spotter scope, which is, like I said, the cold-blooded perk, and that way I'm also immune to enemy kill streaks, so my position is less likely going to be seen by enemies, even if they're in their controlled kill streaks. So VTOLs will not target me, Overwatch healers will not target me, sentries, Wilsons in sentry mode will not target me, and people that are controlling chopper gunners, gunships, and all that kind of stuff will not have that diamond over me, so they have to basically just test a shot on me, or they'll just completely ignore me the entire way. So the reason you want to be countered by the spotter scope is so other people are not going to be looking in your direction once you have that big old diamond above your head. And one of the things I love about the spotter scope is toggling it to thermal, because even if the enemies are out of your range for you to spot, you'll still be able to see the enemies, and on top of that, you'll be able to pinpoint people you might have not have like normally been able to see, who are sniping out in the distance, and they are just chilling in the middle of nowhere, maybe in some foliage or near some rocks, and you'll be able to see them with ease. And as a result, it's going to allow you to take those people out, which means they're going to have to, one, go back all the way out to their spot of where they were, or they're going to spawn on the flags, which means your teammates that are trying to capture the objective and all that kind of stuff, they are going to be killing the people that are spawning back on the flags, which means, the streakers who are trying to play near enemy flags, they're going to be hunting those people, and it's going to create more map flow for your team. So as a sniper, you should always be trying to take out those people that are sitting in those random spots, so they're just not picking people off as they are watching over objectives or whatever it is they might be doing. You guys can see right here, these people are in their HQ. I'm just going to shoot a little chopper gunner rocket at them. It goes right through the window and takes them out. This is what I was telling you guys about the Hydra rockets on the chopper gunner, timing them properly, learning the travel distance, all that kind of stuff is a skill of its own. But once you do, you'll be heavily rewarded with the chopper gunner, and you want to use your Hydra rockets to take out people that are hiding in those spots. Now, for me, like I said, I really wanted to bring it back real quick about the ADS speed. So a lot of people, they sit through their sniper scope all match. They just lay prone in one area or a building, and they just sit looking down their sniper scope. This is really, really bad. And if you don't understand why this is bad, allow me to explain to you. By the way, right here, perfect example of the spotter scope. I'm going to take this guy out that normally I would just never see, but as you guys can see, we end up finding him and taking him out 242 meters away. So, why is aiming down your sights all game bad? Well, you have sniper glint, and the larger your zoom is on your sniper, the bigger the glint you're going to give off, which means your position will be revealed to people who see your glint. And it also makes it easier for people to spot you or ping you, and everyone basically is just going to look at you for a free kill. So only look down your sights as you are trying to take out your enemies. As a matter of fact, I would recommend using your spotter scope if you really want to be looking for people. Look through your spotter scope and then take them out. And I'm not saying you stare down your spotter scope all game, because obviously that's just dumb and you're not going to be engaging a lot of different people. You don't want to have tunnel vision with the spotter scope, but you want to use it to check areas where people might be ratting or trying to lay down and trying to prone, or in a building, maybe it's a dark window, and you quickly toggle that thermal on your spotter scope and then you'll see them. And also, if you don't have a clean shot on an enemy, especially a moving guy like that who's kind of circling around, just don't go for them, alright? Just let them go. Go look for some other targets, because there are 32 people on the other team on all these maps except Saeed. That one has 24. Or 24 versus 24, there's always going to be 32 enemies for you, so I highly recommend you guys are always looking around of your surroundings and just not just staring down your scope in one spot. And the reason ADS matters with this is because you're going to have to aim down the sights as fast as possible and get on to the enemies as fast as possible as well. However, the further back you are and the distance you create from your enemies, the less aim down sights matters. And this is why I don't care all that much about my aim down sight speed whenever I am using a sniper, especially here in ground war. And I think I was overcompensating for this target, by the way, until he stopped, realized where the shots were coming from, and then I was finally able to pick him off because I just shot directly at him. So I think I actually have a little too much bullet velocity to the point where it's actually confusing me. Now, you guys are going to see I'm snaking here, okay? Snaking is something they use in the CDL, and it's because it's really hard to kill somebody who is snaking. Whenever somebody snakes, they keep repeatedly going up and down on their screen, and basically you won't be able to see them whenever they're on a head glitch, especially at this kind of range. And I use this to try to figure out where I am getting sniped from. You guys will see that there is somebody here trying to shoot at me, and I'm not sure where he's at, so I am just going to snake this real quick. And how you snake is you just press to go prone and you jump up real quick. You don't jump, but you return to normal stance, and you just keep doing that over and over again behind a piece of cover, and then you are snaking as long as if you were timing it properly. And you guys are going to see that I finally am able to spot where the guys were, and I'm able to take them out. And snaking is something that is so useful as a sniper, and if you're able to master the art of snaking, then you will be able to, well, get a lot more kills and be less likely to be taken out by your enemies. Now I get my second gunship, and again, I love running the gunship, I love running the chopper gunner, I love running these high kill streaks whenever I am sniping because I'm confident that I am going to earn them based off of the way I play with a sniper and where I position myself with a sniper. So, as you can see right here, doing as much damage as possible to all of the vehicles on the map that are active, and the reason for that, it's so much easier for our teammates to defend and attack objectives if they don't have to worry about enemy armor running into them. Not everybody is using drill charge, not everyone's using thermites, not everyone's using rocket launchers, all that kind of stuff. So whenever you are in a gunship, you are able to destroy all of the vehicles with ease, and that is something that I would highly recommend that you guys do. Now, of course, if it's just a transport vehicle that has no turrets or anything on it, I mean, they could easily kill those guys out of it because you could shoot the driver and, you know, that kind of stuff. But heavy tanks, light tanks, and APCs are going to be my main target whenever I am in there. Now, you might be thinking, what about the chopper gunner? Well, the chopper gunner is really, really bad for taking out vehicles. It doesn't deal a lot of damage, and that is the one downside of the chopper gunner. This one's more of an infantry focused, whereas the gunship is more vehicle focused, and I try to balance out my time whenever I'm in the gunship chasing after infantry as well as vehicles. So you guys can see right here that whenever I'm in the chopper gunner, I'm looking to clear infantry off of objectives, and I'm looking to find also infantry out in the middle of nowhere in order to create more map flow for my teammates who are playing around the flags, because it's going to bring all the action back to the flags. So as you guys can see here, the gameplay is pretty much coming to an end, and at this point I'm just kind of looking to get some extra kills and just trying to see where my enemies are. You can see right here, just looking around, and one of the things that actually kind of surprised me as I was sitting there at the that little pit there, is I was at the B flag and the enemy's own B, but I wasn't really paying attention to it because there were some vehicles there, there were also teammates there, and I was more worried about what was going on at some of the other flags, especially towards their headquarters, so I could pick these people off. And it's just something I happen to notice is not really anyone pushed me from B. Also, it was kind of close range to be sniping there with my build with the MCPR, so that's why I was trying to keep my ranges a little bit further away, and yeah. Anyways, it's been a long video. Hopefully you guys understood what I went over today. Hopefully it helped you guys out, and I will see you all on the battlefield. Have a great day. Peace out.